I want to talk a little bit more about how you actually make a living doing this. Because you can't really protest global warming. I mean, you can protest pieces, you can say no to a lot of stuff that's causing global warming, but you got to say yes to a lot of stuff too. You got to figure out what are the alternatives and help build those. And that's what you want to do during your, or may want to do during your day job. Right? And that's what our graduate programs help people do. There's really three ways you can make a career out of changing the future around climate change. One is education, broadly defined. So you can be a teacher or a research scientist or a preacher or a rabbi or a journalist or anybody who communicates with folks about this. But you can also pursue a policy career or a business career. Now, and those are the graduate programs that I run. So policy is about changing the rules. Right? A policy career is for people who want to change the rules of the game at the international level, national, regional, within cities, within corporations, to make things more sustainable. Business career is for people who want to play the game. Right? Within the existing confines of the rules, how can I solve social and environmental problems by building financially viable organizations and solutions? They have to be financially viable, otherwise they collapse. Right? And that's what business is about. Okay? So I'll give you just an example of what I mean by a policy career. This is a town called Belo Horizonte in Brazil. It's Brazil's fourth largest city. And about 8 years ago, they said that they were going to make access to food, or that they were going to basically say, we're going to eliminate hunger as a city policy. And they did a number of things, very innovative stuff. One was they created these ABC stores that sell 20 basic, healthy, mostly local commodities at subsidized prices. And then merchants can make up the difference on the other products that they sell. They created local, mostly local restaurants, people's restaurants that serve 12,000 meals a day. And these are not ghettoized. I mean, they're really open to anybody who wants to go. But, you know, obviously frequented in part by low-income people. And as a consequence of those policies, infant mortality down 50%, food dollars staying local, helping build a vibrant local food economy, costs the city of about a penny, US penny per day, per resident. So that's an example of very effective policy, just changing the rules and having a huge impact on people's lives. Talk a little bit about sustainable business, sort of as an alternative. All right? Sustainable business is a really interesting concept. It's really a new concept in the political economy. It didn't exist 20 years ago. And the idea is that, I mean, businesses traditionally have looked at environmental and social problems as costs to be externalized. Somebody else pays those, I make more profit, right? But beginning about 20 years ago, companies began to say, well, can we look at these as profitable opportunities to be solved? My favorite example is a company that's developed by a couple of young entrepreneurs out of Rensselaer Polytech, RPI, just north of here. And they said, we're going to remove styrofoam from the face of the earth. And styrofoam is an example of something that we can't keep making styrofoam the way we make it and serve the needs of 10 billion people, right? To make styrofoam, you've got to go to some sensitive habitat somewhere, lift oil, spill it, ship it, spill it, heat the oil up to huge temperatures, create all kinds of toxins, poison the workers, poison the communities, make the styrofoam, right? Cut it up into peanuts, put it around computers, ship it. And when the consumers are done with it, they throw it away. No such thing. Can't throw anything away. And it lasts for the environment for 10,000 years. And what these guys do is they said, well, how would nature solve this problem? And this is the key to sustainable business often. Just think about natural design principles. So what they do is they grow big blocks of mushrooms in dark rooms at room temperature, very tightly intertwined fungus. And then they kill it, and they chop it up for shipping peanuts, or they grow it in molds to put it around computers. And when consumers are done with it, they chop it up and put it in their garden for compost. Okay? Beautiful solution that solves a social and environmental problem. This is a scalable solution, so they're partnering with big packaging companies. They will have a big impact on the world through this business model. Got Nike up there. Nike got into a lot of trouble in the 90s because they were at the front lines of the whole sweatshop labor problems, and they kind of denied it for about a year, but then they pretty much decided they had to get ahead of it. And in an era of transparent supply chains, that they really needed to embrace sustainability and fair labor practices. And they also became leaders in the environmental front. So recently they looked at their footprint, their environmental footprint. We're causing major water pollution in developing countries with textile dye. And rather than kind of pat themselves on the back and say, we're obeying the laws in Vietnam or wherever, they said, we're going to fix this problem. And they moved to a water-free dyeing process. So they're going to phase out water-based dyeing and eliminate that pollution problem, not mitigate it. So that's what we mean by sustainable business, and that's the direction that our MBA students go in. And from a career perspective, the idea is you want to find the intersection of what you love, what the world needs, what the world will pay for, and what you do well. Okay. Last thing I want to say to you is don't wait. There's, in our environment world, there's sort of a sense that you go to college and you take a couple years off, and you'll be a barista for a while. Be ambitious, Be ambitious in your 20s. Change the world in your 20s. A, because we can't wait. You saw what the pictures look like. We need you to step up to the plate now if you're going to step up. But B, it's a lot more fun. It's just, if you build a leadership career for yourself early on, you just open up so many more doors throughout your life. So, be thoughtful about